Hey guys, it's Wyndham. And I'm recording on a Wednesday, and I apologize about all of this, but the point of this video is to kind of give you guys some insight into the reality of everybody surviving right now with COVID-19. Look at this. I decided to take it upon myself to try and not wash my hair every single day because my hair has just been so dry that I'm doing the whole only wash your hair every 3 days thing, which is actually recommended by a lot of hairdressers out there. And this is day two. This is day two of just letting it dry, doing something, and then just living. And then you can see I have no makeup on. I'm letting my skin breathe. Anyway, so I wanted to tell you guys about a little recipe that I kind of came up with. It's kind of been helpful. So one of the only types of meat that we were able to find during quarantine, and we're under a stay-at-home order right now. So we're not forced to stay inside like people in LA and New York are. I'm gonna turn this down a little bit. But I'm gonna add a little bit more oil. And I'll tell you guys what I'm doing. But it was kind of hard to find a lot of different types of meats. So something I was able to find was some sausages. And not like breakfast sausages, I'm talking about the big Italian sausages. So anyway, this is how I like to cook them. Okay, so as you can see, they're splattering everywhere, so ignore my dirty stove pot. But so I like to slice them, not super thin. I kind of like mine with a little bit more chunk to it. And right now I'm cooking it in olive oil, okay? And I'm just letting the sides brown. But then the best step is coming up right here. You ready for this? Y'all are gonna hate me. Okay, so this is what I like to add to it. I like to add maple syrup to my sliced sausages. You guys are gonna hate this, but it's so good. It brings out the savoriness of it, and make sure that you have, woo, child. Make sure, it's so loud now, it's like cooking. But make sure that you have enough oil, so that way your syrup does not burn to the pan, and that way it acts as like a carrier oil. So I just cook it in some EVOO for a bit. And then I just add some pancake syrup on top. And it just adds a little bit of extra oomph to your sausage. So what I like to do with this is a kind of a quarantine meal. Octo really actually hates sausage. So it's kind of me trying to figure out how to make him eat it. I'll eat all of it, it's fine. But something that I like to do is I like to make macaroni and cheese. And I'll actually make white cheddar mac and cheese and mix this in it, even with the syrup on it. And it's so good. You guys don't know anything until you've tried it. I'm serious. But yeah, so that's just something that I'm cooking today. And I might record something later after maybe I've fixed my hair and my face. And I don't look so crazy. But anyway, so that's lunch today. Hey guys, I'm back. With a more, I guess, normal setting. So you can see I actually washed my hair. What we've been trying to do is trying to reverse damage that was done to it, because I had a balayage ombre put in. I think you guys remember a lot of that blonde. Well, a lot of that blonde damaged my hair, and so I've been working on not doing very much with it and letting it dry natural. So this is right after washing it. Gets very big, gets very curly, it's a little intense. Anyway, so yeah, so I was kind of thinking about what I wanted to talk to with you guys, because I already, I shared a recipe. We're all locked inside. We don't have very much to do. And I remembered that I've had one or two people comment and message me about something that I think is worth talking about, and that is ADHD. And not just ADHD, but also what it is like being in a relationship with someone with ADHD. And I guess like tips for that. And I don't know everything. I'm not the expert in any capacity to kind of talk to you guys about this. I feel like Octo knows a lot more from personal experience. But yeah, I know, we've been married for over a year. There's a lot of things that I feel like I didn't know, that I feel like I've had to learn. So I just thought it would be good to kind of talk about it and to let you guys know that healthy relationships are possible. If you're dealing with a problem, you're not alone. So anyway, yeah, figured that'd be what I'd talk about. So anyway, first of all, I want to talk about something where, so a little bit of history here. So Octo was diagnosed, I feel like he was diagnosed later, a little bit later, or more he really delved into the diagnosis later. And this is something kind of like with ADHD, learning disabilities, mental disabilities, emotional disorders. Don't do it. Cat! He was so gonna attack her. Thought my cat was gonna like attack my dog, which he likes to do, so I have to stop him. He gets very playful and then he just wants to like pounce on her. So anyway, so my husband will be able to tell you a little bit more about his own story, but let's just say that he was diagnosed with it probably in elementary school, but they really didn't do very much as far as treatment until he was older, other than pulling him out of school and just having him be homeschooled. Now, this is something that I deal with, is the fact that his family, they still like to say that they think everybody has ADHD, and they still like to say that they don't think he was diagnosed correctly. But now he's seeing someone that specializes in ADHD, and this specialist is saying all of your testing points to this. It's just the way that your brain is wired. You just think about things differently than other people. No shame in that. And I think that's what people need to understand, is like ADHD is not scary. It just means that you think about things a little bit differently, and it just means that the people around you that you're close to just have to learn to be patient, and it's best to just have ways to problem solve. So anyway, I feel like I would be speaking for him if I delved into those personal experiences. But I know that being the wife of someone dealing with this, I feel like it's my job to say that medication is okay if handled responsibly. If it's something that you feel like you need, if you feel like it's something that could be helpful, it can make a big difference. But the right medication, you need to talk to your doctor. The wrong medication will be very wrong, and you'll be able to tell, and it's not something that you want to mess with. Don't take any of your friends' medication to try it out. Don't do that. Don't mess around with this stuff. It's literally affecting the chemicals in your brain. Yeah, so if you're in a relationship with someone else, encourage them to see a specialist or a doctor. Don't think it's not a big deal that he went and got a pill from Joey that he has fourth period with, who has ADHD, and he wanted to see if he liked it. First of all, you're not used to Joey's dosage. You're not used to Joey's medication. It's going to hit you so differently. And when it doesn't come from a doctor, it can be so dangerous, that you're dealing with brain chemicals, basically. Don't do it. Just be smart about it. And if you're really struggling, then talk to somebody about it, and hopefully you can see a doctor and deal with it. But yeah, medication isn't scary. Finding the right medication can make a really big difference. I'm going to say it can make a really big difference for your home life. It can make a really big difference for your work life. And that's something I kind of want to touch on, is some of the ways that ADHD can affect your relationship. So being the other party in a relationship, you kind of have to get used to being an encourager. Being an encourager and not holding things to do with ADHD over their head. So it means having faith in the person and building that person up, and not saying, well, you've started 6 other projects. Are you really sure that you want to start this one? Because that's kind of a big part of it, is you get a lot of started and stopped projects because they'll become really excited about something and want to go in a certain area with it, in a certain direction with it, and then just completely lose interest. Something that you might deal with in dating somebody with ADHD is in the beginning of your relationship, they're going to delegate a lot of time to you. They're going to be so excited about you, so excited about a new relationship. They're going to give you all their attention. They're going to set a precedent up here. Like up here, like above what a normal healthy relationship is, for as much time as they spend on you, how much they want to talk to you, how much time they want to spend with you. And the thing is as soon as those dopamine receptors kind of stop and fizzle out and things get hard, they might be tempted to look elsewhere. They might be tempted to feel like, oh no, is our relationship losing anything? Or you might be tempted to give up on the relationship because maybe you feel like you don't treat me like you used to. You used to treat me so special. And the thing is what you need to realize is, like, there's a big difference between these like toxic relationships that you'll see all over like Twitter or Tumblr or Instagram of like, my old boyfriend used to ignore me, but my new boyfriend loves me. And you need to make sure that you separate in your brain the concept of these toxic relationships and toxic patterns and what is actually toxicity versus someone's dopamine receptors are changing because they're getting used to you. And that's okay. Because guess what? Now you're going to have probably a healthier relationship balance than you did. And it took me a little bit to realize that, and to not present it as like, do you even love me? Do you even, what's going on here? It took me a while to process. It's not that I'm not cared for as much. It's just that in the beginning of any type of relationship or anything that you're really excited about, you're going to give an unhealthy amount of attention, and probably too much attention and too much fervor and too much romance and just kind of everything is just very passionate and new and exciting all the time. And that's going to die down as the relationship becomes more stabilized, becomes more normal, and you're going to develop a healthier timetable, healthier habits, healthier patterns, and use the supporting partner. You just have to be okay with it and realize it's not because they don't care. It's actually because it was probably a little unhealthy in the beginning. So I feel like as long as you realize that, don't hold bad habits over their head in a negative way. Realize it's a bad habit and it stems from A, B, C, or D, and bring it up kindly in conversation. You might be the main person that's organized in your life. You might be the main person that schedules in your life. You might, and in your relationship, you might be the main person that kind of takes care of managing day to day. And, you know, you have to be sure that you're okay with that before you really dive in. Sometimes ADHD comes with anxiety. Because they can be anxious about messing up on something, about messing up on a project, about messing up the way that they're trying to explain a topic to somebody, anxiety about being judged. It goes hand in hand. Basically, ADHD and anxiety go hand in hand, and a lot of the treatments kind of go hand in hand. And, you know, that's something that you can talk about. And you have to be a safe place to talk about those things, and you have to be a person that's not going to hold all of these things over their head. You can't hold the fact that you might be more organized over their head. They can't help it. It's the way that their brain works. It's the way that they're wired. You know, a lot of times medication can help with these things. Medication can help them understand your side. You might always have to be the one that takes initiative to say, hey, I need you to do A, B, and C before you can do D. I know you want to do D because it rewards the dopamine receptors in your brain, and it makes you feel excited and it makes you feel happy, and you want to push that dopamine button over and over and over again because that's how you're wired to where you don't receive dopamine doing other things right now, but you have to put it off for just a little bit because you have to be grown up and you have to do this. But handle it in a loving and respectful way. Have a schedule. Realize that distractions are okay and distractions are part of life and distractions are really fun. And embrace the crazy. Embrace the crazy. Your life may never be perfect the way that you thought about it in your head. You may have pictured this picture perfect partner to spend your life with that you never had to ask them to load the dishes. You never had to ask them to vacuum the house. You never had to ask them to do just basic things that are needed from an adult, and you were just hoping that they would just see it and know that it needed to be done. But you know, that isn't always realistic to a person that you fall in love with. And don't let your need to control every aspect of your life make you miss out on all the fun and new experiences and new way of thinking about things that a person with ADHD can bring into your life. Now, of course, a lot of what I'm describing has to do with if a male has ADHD. I'm not really super able to describe a lot of the ways that female ADHD shows itself in life because I spend mainly most of my time with a man that has ADHD. So if you're a woman and you have it, I'd love to hear your experiences in the comments. I'd love to hear your experiences in romantic relationships and how it's different than maybe what I'm describing. I'm trying to think about other things. Yeah, I feel like the main thing is just they're constantly chasing a dopamine high because they never get the same dopamine high twice. Or it's not easy for them to reach that dopamine high as it is for the rest of us. You know, it's not as easy to have those chemicals released in their brain that make them feel happy and excited and comforted as it is for other people. So they tend to stick to hobbies that are exciting, that make them feel that rush over and over and over again. And a lot of times they tend to bounce from relationship to relationship. And it depends on the person. And I've got this random man in the background. So that's just my first little bit of this. If you have other questions about my experiences, if you have other questions about just like opinions, etc., put them in the comments down below. Join my Discord. We're getting up there. I'm also trying to reach 10,000 subscribers by the end of 2020, which we might be able to do if people just sit inside and play and watch YouTube like for the rest of forever. But anyway, guys, you know, please subscribe, like my videos, give me a thumbs up. You know, I'm trying to reach more people. I'm trying to just build this thing and have fun with it. And hopefully after this quarantine's done, we can go visit the guys again and do some more live streams. So anyway, just stay safe, guys. Stay inside, stay safe, watch YouTube. Anyway, guys, it's Wyndham.